Secondary data, it really plays a huge role in your business. A couple of things, no matter what, if you're going to be looking for a loan for your business, you're going to have a totally prepared business plan. And part of that business plan is you must have data to show that you have a business. If any bank or some kind of outside of your immediate family is going to support this financially, they will want to be able to see numbers, and the numbers come from your research. Secondary data is so easy to get. It's simple, but you have to be careful about it. And that's probably the biggest thing. It's cheap, it's easy accessible. Almost anybody with a minor amount of software equipment can actually go out and find things that relate to your business. But that said, not all of it pertains, and you have to be sharp enough to figure out what pertains and what doesn't pertain. That's part of the experience that you have of being an entrepreneur or a business person. Some of the most common areas is statistical analysis, literature reviews, and case studies. These three really take up the mass amount of things you're going to find out on the internet. The analysis, the reviews, the case studies, they're easy. You can access them. It just depends how clever you are as where you're going to go shopping for them. There's ample online data. A lot of times it's in data sets, and often they're open source or downloadable at a low cost. Keep in mind, low cost doesn't always mean it's high quality, so make certain it applies to you. It's ideal for conducting statistical analysis, hypothesis testing, or regression analysis. Feel free to check more into this, but the reality is you're going to go shopping for data that's already out there, especially if you're going to use it for any type of testing or analysis. This slide here, frankly, in my opinion, is spectacular, especially if you're out there looking for the government. If you're starting a business, the Small Business Administration website, and yes, it is in Washington, and I know a lot of us don't trust things come out of Washington, but frankly, the Small Business Administration does a pretty good job on giving you forms, information, and data to help you start your business. Government agencies. In California, even, we have different kinds of data available for businesses. You have to go shopping, and you have to go know where to shop. And sometimes it's a matter of, it doesn't make any sense as to how they classify it, but that's part of the aspect of doing research. Non-governmental organizations. You know what? They have a vested interest in your business being successful too. If you have an area, if you're in this particular industry, then all the different organizations that support that industry, they want you to be successful because, by the way, they want you to join their membership. They want you to sit down and participate. They want you part of the dialogue. They want you to sit down and be part of their community, and it benefits them financially and for other reasons. But the reality, non-government organizations, they're there. Educational institutions, oh, by the way, you're in one right now. You're pretty smart. I can't blame it. Wow. Okay, so you're already here. Businesses or consultants, libraries or archives. I know you hear the word library, you think books, books, books. A lot of libraries have a huge database, which is really good to do some research, whether it's a college library or a regular public library. They will have tools that you will not think about for research. Sometimes you just want to go park yourself in front of a computer at the library and use their tools and explore your area. And I think you'll be surprised as to how much you're going to find. Newspapers, academic journals, or magazines, all of them, they want you to buy their product. So they're going to bring to you a lot of good, solid information that appeals to you. So pay attention. You might find some really good stuff there. A literature review, really, it's a survey of a whole series of scholarly sources on your topic. I want to study this. Well, there's a whole series of things you can go out and look at and make a whole list of things that you think might be relevant. In my mind, what I do when I'm doing research in this method, I go through, I find out what's available. I make a list, an electronic list. I just grab the title or the website, I slop it onto a computer file, and I sit down there and do it. And then when I'm all done, after grabbing all the information I think is out there, then I go through what I've already recovered, usually the next day when my brain has calmed down from that aspect of it, and I find out the different items that really are applicable to what I'm researching on. That's when you start weaning out some of the ones that probably are not so good, or you move them to the bottom of the list and put the top ones in the very top and focus in on that. It really can give you a whole aspect as to what is currently out there, what's good for me. And it might change your focus of your business from this to this. Well, how come? Well, I went and read the data. Nobody's doing this anymore. I want to do the most current stuff. And you do want to do the most current stuff because you want to be cutting edge making certain you can provide services and products that people want to buy that are out there. So you want to use a literature review, helps you an awful lot. A lot of times you do this in a structure like an academic paper with an intro, body, conclusion. It's a good way to evaluate yourself in the process of what you're looking at, your knowledge. If you're going to be researching for somebody else, you definitely want to do this type of style with an intro, body, conclusion. For your own purposes, it still helps you to have that structure, especially if you're going to be using the data you gather to try to land some money. Okay, that's a huge issue. So literature review, it's not a summary. It grabs sources and evaluates them and gives you a picture. And sometimes the picture can be kind of scrambled, but ideally the picture should reflect the current market and where the current market is going in your particular area. A case study is a detailed study of a specific subject. It's usually qualitative in nature. In other words, it focuses on a thing rather than a whole big block of things. If you have that, you can focus on a person, a group, a place, event, whatever that really can help you. And so you have a different aspect of it. And once you have one complex case, it's going to help you to understand what you have out there. And you can grab some interviews that already exist, see if they're applicable to your area, some studies or other data that they make for a great background before you dive into it. So here are the three areas again: statistical analysis. There's a lot of data out there in almost every single industry. Literature review and case studies. These are three pillars of your research that really will help you relatively inexpensively, sometimes absolutely free. You just have to pay attention and be calm in your research of it and make certain your research makes sense to you and anybody else that happens to be looking over your shoulder. Take care.